Safety for those crossing the tracks. That's the biggest concern for many opponents of a new rail line. Canadian Pacific Railway is proposing the additional track through the north side of La Crosse into the rail yard. Today, the public had the chance to voice their concern to a representative with the state's Railroad Commission. News 8's Kyle Dimke joins us now with the details from that meeting.
Well, Mike, CP wants to add a third track to improve efficiency through La Crosse. The new track is less than a mile long, but would actually be placed on the same footprint of an old rail line. But for those who live close to the current tracks, they say a third line would cause more harm than good.
Erin Chasso has lived in La Crosse for several years. She recently moved to the corner of St. Cloud and Liberty Streets, which is along the route where Canadian Pacific Railway would like to install a third rail line.
Hi, Kyle. Do you have a good day at school?
Erin has 3 kids.
Let's put your brakes on.
Her oldest has cerebral palsy.
Did you learn anything good at school today?
Like most parents, she says to get her 3 kids to school in the morning is not easy, but the train outside her house doesn't make things any easier.
We have to leave early for school, my kids do, in order to get across the tracks in time to not hit that 25-minute train.
Erin says some of the trains can be parked outside of her house for up to 45 minutes at a time. And if they're blocking the sidewalk when kids are trying to get to school, it can be dangerous.
I, without me being out here, have watched numerous times children climbing under, climbing over. I've seen some kids holding onto the trains.
And that's why her biggest concern about a third track is safety. But she shares that concern with the city of La Crosse.
There's an issue with trains occupying those crossings, with the public streets being blocked occasionally, and would not want that to get any worse, and would hope in fact that it gets better if fluidity is improved through the crossings.
Canadian Pacific Railway says those long waits should be no longer with the third track.
Currently, when we're conducting switching operations, that can interfere with our mainline operations. And we believe that this project will help to allow mainline operations to go on concurrently with switching operations more successfully.
But Erin is not convinced.
Because we have to wait for that first train, then the second train to even get through. So if there's a third, I mean, there's just no way that school next year is going easy for us.
Another concern from the public at today's hearing is that the additional track will increase the number of trains carrying crude oil through La Crosse. CP Railway says the amount of rail traffic depends on what its customers are shipping, saying that it is a common carrier railroad, meaning that it will ship whatever its customers are sending as long as it fits under federal standards.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. There is no timeline for the Commissioner of Railroads to make a decision on the third track, but Canadian Pacific hopes to begin working on the project late next year.